Welcome to this all new video and slash update of my first car. Last time I made a video like this, it was back in January, and as you can see here, it is now May, and it is quite beautiful, I must say. However, it is a bit cold and a bit windy, so I do apologise for that, as well as the birds. They seriously need to shut up. Anyway, this is just, we'll talk you through the last 7 or 8 months or so I've had this car, and just tell you what I've experienced with it, as well as what other stuff I've done to it as well. So yeah, anyway, I've completed college now, so happy out, and also means I will be doing more frequent uploads once again. But anyway, let's get on with the video.
Jungle.
Now, let's move on to the first mod that I did, and it was these carbon fibre mirror caps. They were eBay's finest, if I remember correctly, and yes, the fly carcass is in fact an optional extra. These should have been easy to install, and to be fair, they were. However, because this definitely wasn't an official mirror that they did, that they put the carbon job on it, so what you ended up getting was it didn't 100% fit properly, so we had to cut away on the inside a bit to make it properly fit in and snugly. And it was while we were installing this, we noticed that one of these indicators were actually cracked, and we thought that could leak and that could cause failure to an NCT and whatnot, or inspection if you live in the States. And as you can see here, I have installed new indicator sliders, and these are dynamic style, so when I go to lock and unlock said car, I just lock it, you see, and unlock it, it does that sliding thing, which is all the rage these days. And yeah, that was what the first two things we did. Oh, this job, it wasn't too expensive. I think all in it's about €80 for both sides, and also it wasn't like it should have been. Like I said, it should have been a lot easier, and it wasn't too difficult. The only issue was it was a bit fiddly, because after all, you're pretty much taking apart the entire mirror system. All this stuff has to go off. This bonnet bit here has to go up. You can get, if you look down, Jesus, if this focuses, you may see something here. These are like for opposite spotlights, if you want to do that. Honestly, I don't know why you would. I think it looks pretty stupid, but a lot of people are into that, so more power to them, I guess. Now we move on to the interior of the car, and as we can see, something massively is different and not OEM here. And yes, that is in fact the touch screen. I can't remember the name of this head unit off the top of my head. It starts with like an XAB and something like that, but I'll just boot it up now. Better turn off this. As we can see, once it loads up, Sony head unit, and this has usual. You got your Bluetooth, your DAB+, which doesn't work for me for some reason. You also got your regular radio, phone, USB, and you can also fit it with a rear camera if you have one of those. I didn't bother with that, to be honest, but I might in the not too distant future. Still not 100% sure yet though. But one of the best features of this entire head unit was the Android Auto, which I would demonstrate for you here, but I'm doing this on my phone. But if you know what Android Auto is, you will know that it pretty much changes the screen to pretty much something similar to your phone. Through there you can get Google Maps, which technically has enabled this car with satellite navigation, which I never had from the factory. And you get to use Spotify, you get to use Waze, you get to use all different kinds of stuff. Listen to your favourite tracks and podcasts. Another feature that when I go to change the settings, when I messed with the settings of this head unit, was I'm able to change song while I'm driving. Originally when I had the original 310, I think it was the name of the head unit, I could put the volume up and down with the buttons here, and as we can, doesn't really work because I'm not connected to anything, but these work normally. However, I couldn't change the song, and although I could answer the phone, which is pretty cool, but another thing I couldn't do, despite the button here, it's believed this is for voice recognition. I could be wrong. However, despite having microphones built into the car, this car never had that feature. Now, if you really wanted that feature, you could have, I think you can use special software to enable it. Or you could have done what I did. And with this new head unit, I have this button here set to activate the microphone when I'm on Android Auto. And with that, I can tell you to play a certain song. I can play the most recent episode of a podcast, satellite, ring someone, all that good stuff. The only downsides to having this head unit is, if you know in the center console here, this phone and this head unit are different connections, if you get me, different Bluetooth signals. Like, it doesn't bother me too much. It's just a little annoying because I just don't think it's as like, I want it to be one big seamless system, but I don't even use the Bluetooth pairing in this anymore. I might actually, if there's a way to deactivate it, I think I will in the not too distant future. Anyway, pros and cons of this pretty cool head unit was, well, obviously the pros I've mentioned already, mainly just the Android and the CarPlay. You have both Android Auto and CarPlay, so if you have an iPhone and an Android user, you can use that, whatever. It charges your phone relatively quickly. I was impressed by it, to be fair. It's great when you go out for like an hour-long drive, you get to charge your phone as well, which I think is great. Now, the cons. The touchscreen is like the plasticky sort of touchscreen. So, oh, sorry about that. And so what you end up getting is, like, it's not very sensitive. See, I'm swiping and nothing's happening. But particularly in Android Auto, you have to press a certain thing in a certain way. And that can be annoying, especially when you're driving, which I don't do usually. But that's the only thing that was annoying. Another thing was, this whole kit that we got to use with the steering wheel buttons, all that. Fantastic kit. But when we got off the website, there were instructions to learn how to set up the head unit and the type of connects to system you needed. However, there was no instructions that were given to us by the people we purchased the head unit off on how to set everything up. This was really annoying. Like, the head unit itself took about, I'd say, 3 hours to install. Now, it's the first head unit I ever installed. My brother and I worked on it. And the reason why that was because there were certain things, like, to activate Android Auto, you need to have the parking brake connected. So you had to connect a certain wire to the ground of the wiring at the back. It was, and like, there's no way of showing that or anything. It was actually just a bit of a mess. It took a bit of problem solving. And yeah, and last but not least, the price. These would set you back about 400 to 480, I think it is. Depends on where you look. Halfords do offer this head unit, and they do offer to install it, but you'd be looking at over €500 for that service. Although it's pricey, if you have no experience in installing a head unit like this, then I would definitely recommend it. If the price of this head unit is a bit too much money, then there was an RCD 330. You can get them off AliExpress. It was a head unit I was originally going to get because I thought it looked very OEM. I thought it looked very stylish. But the fact it came from AliExpress, I wasn't too keen on that. But if you're looking at a head unit, I recommend that because supposedly it's really simple plug and play, and it's compatible with all these buttons and whatnot as well. And another thing, while we're in the car, we can see I have the DAB antenna there, which doesn't work for some reason. There's a separate microphone as well at the head unit. Again, that was another annoying thing. You couldn't activate the original mic with that, which is annoying. And the other thing we have back here was my old 70 MAI dash cam, which I got for free from GearBest in a video I made a few years ago. I might link that down below if I can find it. Also, it's great to always have a dash cam. Definitely recommend it. Always put it in front of the mirror as well, so that you can't see anything and whatnot. Anyways, I think as for interior mods, that's really it. The head unit is all that needed to be changed anyway, because I don't know about you, but this is a lovely place to be, especially when you got your fabric / Alcantara and here, and yeah, it's a lovely place. But you got the hand sanitizer because, you know, with COVID and all that. But now I'm going to move on to another mod I did to this car, which I regretted. Now for the next mod, and I have it in our packaging here. You could probably have a guess of what it is, and it is these quick lift automatic trunk opening boot struts. These were not cheap. They also took a while to get here. I think it was about 3 weeks I was waiting for these to come. And if I'm being brutally honest, they are not perfect. In fact, they're far from perfect, hence why I put the stock ones back on again. These, although like the boot opening up mechanism and all that kind of jazz is cool, I think it was pretty cool. Drawbacks: 1, the boot will be much harder to close. 2, it causes very bad panel gaps, and there's these panel gaps like between here and like the rest of the trunk and whatnot. That was the big thing that put me off them. And last but not least, as I said, these were €65 I think I paid for the set. Total rip-off in my opinion. And there are different ways though. If you look on Mark 6 Golf forums, that you can do like a homemade version. Personally, I would give that a go. And actually in the middle of giving that a go, I've bought Skoda Fabia struts, and I think there's like, these came with like a type of ball joint I think I can use. But yeah, that was a rubbish little mod. If you guys are still, if you don't mind having like an extra panel gap here that will cause your bolts here to rust, then send me a message like directly or privately, and I will get in touch with you. And if you really want those struts still, I'll send them on to you. And yeah, while we're actually back here, I've come to a dramatic conclusion, and it's these taillights. I like them. In fact, I have LED lights coming for like the reverse light and stuff. So yeah, I think these, with this particular type of Golf, these look really good. And I think it suits the car a lot better than the usual VLANs or the Supernovas or maybe even the Osrams. And so yeah, I'm actually made a decision, for sake of saving money and more sense, I just thought it's probably best I just keep the stock ones. As you see, here's a panel gap here. That reminds me, those quick for lift struts, I think they may have caused a bit of damage to this side of the trunk, because like, I don't think the gap is even at the top. I think that could just be an optical illusion of mine, but it's hard to know. There's the Donut Media sticker. Shout out to my friend Mark for getting them for me. And let's go on to the last thing I did, I forgot to mention them, was the bulbs. I just did the bulbs. I have the H15s, these are the Osram Cool Intense Blue, I think they are. These are very good, they're quite bright, I would say that. The only thing I don't like is that they're blue. Now, the H7s I got were Philips. Oh, they're either Extreme White or Extreme Vision. I will get the links to the mods I did down below. And also I have like LED side lights, which you can see here. The lights have been very good, they're very bright obviously. And I think it's definitely you can do to your car, because after all it helps you see better. I would do LEDs, but the problem was they're more expensive, and also they're actually illegal if you have a halogen headlight. So yeah, that is this car. Overall, I'm still very impressed with it. If you're thinking of getting a Mark 6, I would recommend it. However, in Ireland anyway, they are quite expensive to buy. They're in great demand. People, dealers, the whole lot can't get enough of them. So yeah, if you're willing to spend a bit of a premium, I would recommend a Mark 6, or a Mark 3 Leon comes to mind as well, and a few other cars. I might do a little video on it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I hope you like my car as much as I do, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Have a marvellous day.